know what I'm saying? Silk is having troubles.
Because she got chopped cheese.
Yo, well, it's a Philly cheesesteak, but whatever you finna call it, it's gonna be what it is. As long as it goes down my throat. Pause. What happened? Oh,
pause. So we got some special people in the building tonight. We got DJ Blackout in here with us.
Rico.
And we got Raccoon in the building with us. Showing up as always. Guys, for those that have missed us, if you want to listen to us, remember we are on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Make sure you guys search for that. Listen to us. We got all of our episodes on there. You can also find us on YouTube under Follow the Culture. Make sure you guys follow us and find us as well. So we're just gonna hop right into it. So we
ready.
Alright. So we're gonna talk about this R.Kelly madness right now. According to my bestie, Trump right now is actually addressing the country as far as the government shutdown. So for those of you concerned with that as well, we're gonna get into that in a second. If you guys are watching that right now with Trump addressing us, the country, I would suggest you guys call in as well. Give us a drop, let us know what's going on because we'd love to know as well. But as far as R.Kelly, guys, so. You know, we've been following social media lately. We all know the monster that's been at hands. Everybody started watching Survivor R.Kelly. We kind of got a lot of the tea. A lot of it we've already known, but I think for the majority of it, it was new for me personally. Like, I mean, I knew about the Aaliyah. I knew about, oh shit. I knew about like Aaliyah and his thing for like younger women, but I really didn't know how far it went. So like this was like super duper. So what, like?
Well, I honestly, I don't recall any of these things. Like I'm a little bit younger than Slim. The only thing I can remember was just seeing R. Kelly around Aaliyah, but I had no idea she was married to him. I had no idea of these things because not for nothing they painted Aaliyah to be really
like America's sweetheart.
Yeah, like America's sweetheart, and it just I really wasn't paying attention. First of all, I was super young at this time, super duper young at this time, and I think we're at a different level of awareness and just our knowledge on things that are wrong and right and disturbing and illegal are just different. Rico said a couple episodes back a point about like gay marriages being recently legal, so everyone's mentality is still on the, well, it's not right, it was against the law. Even slavery, like, you know what I'm saying, like there's
people
just certain things,
yeah,
not necessarily slavery, but things like Jim Crow law, segregation, like things like that. So it's like I feel like with every generation and even with every year, every month, every day, we get a new form of information. Like media has expanded, social media is new, the way we get information is just new. So I think we just have a different level of awareness right now. But I can't say that I remember the Aaliyah thing. I can't even tell you that. I can't even act like I did. I had no knowledge of that. And even with it being on the news, because when I think even in just the very first episode of the documentary, it shows you news tabloids of lawsuits that he had.
I wasn't aware of that either.
And I wasn't in tune with any of this. Granted, I had my own crazy upbringing that was super violent, super sexually crazy, like, so I wasn't even checking for none of that. Like, I was sitting there living this shit, you know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about what's happening right now. Like, I can't even say that we should have did this and we should have did that.
Right.
I can't say that personally. I can't.
No, well, that's why I said I don't understand why so many people are like, oh, well, we've been knew this and we've been knew that. When it's exactly what you said. A lot of us are now catching up, honestly and truly, to what is going on. A lot of us are really now catching up to all this new information that's being spread to us. And I feel like it's just a new generation of the way people think, period. A lot of us aren't willing to sit back and let a lot of shit happen.
Right.
So, like, I don't know why people have this, like, idea that we were supposed to expect that our past generation was going to make a change and do certain things and step up. And, like, all in all, like, yes, R. Kelly to me is what Like, he's pretty much the pinnacle of what all these creeps and
the pinnacle of rape culture.
Yes, exactly. Like, he is, you know what I'm saying, the opinion of like a pedophile and all that stuff. So it's like, to me, he's just the standard of what to look for in a pedophile,
right,
etc. So like, it just goes down, it trickles down to what most black people in the black community deal with in their own families, with them,
right,
like, you know, your uncles or your uncle's friends and all this other crazy shit like that. So I feel like he just opened the door of more conversation, which I'm fine with. I don't see why everybody is kind of like, well, why are we talking about this now? It's just a hype. Because it's a conversation that needs to be had, just like the government being shut down. It's a conversation that needs to be had, because this is bigger than R.Kelly, and that's what I want people to start understanding. Like, I feel like so many people are detached because maybe they may never experienced anything like that. Maybe they don't have kids, or maybe they just don't really care, or they don't understand how deep it is for most young black women. But you guys have to understand, like, there's so many black women that are literally living that life day to day that haven't had a voice, don't have a voice. And what are you going to tell them? Oh, well, that been happening. That's not a fair excuse to the young woman that's now traumatized, you know what I'm saying, have to deal with this shit and go through her whole life having been molested or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like when you know better, like you said, you do better. Now that we have the information, it's our responsibility to make sure something is done. Because a lot of you guys have that quitter mindset too, like, oh, well, it's going to be the same old, same old. It's going to be the same old if you have that mindset already.
Yeah, because
you already got that mindset. Like,
what happened when Trump was elected president? Everybody that I know, all of my social media, Facebook, Instagram, everybody was like, we're not our ancestors. We got hands. We got this. We got that. Mm-hmm. So how come we can't say we're not our ancestors? We're not about to lay on our backs as black women. We're not about to just let somebody take advantage of us and not create this awareness around the subject. Like, why is that different? I need somebody to call in and break that down to me.
Yeah,
like, if we're going to move forward and start doing things differently, more positively, trying to make the world a better place or whatever the case may be, and just unveiling all of these, like you said, the creepy uncles and the racist white guy who has a bunch of black friends and that. Why can't we all just do better all around? Why does it have to be one specific thing? Yeah, like, why does it have to be one thing at a time? There are gay, transgender people that are fighting for rights even now, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can all focus on everything at one time. And I know we can, because on social media, the timelines be going up and down with this topic and that topic all day long. So I don't think that y'all mentals are not capable. I just feel like some people just don't want to, because my thing is, and what I say when people refuse to do certain stuff that they know is right or that they know will help somebody else, is because it's easier not to. It's easier to act like, okay, well,
not to care.
Like Sam gonna come say, oh, his music still bump. Cool, his music still bump, but can we talk about the fear that he has put in people's heart? Like, can we talk about the destruction that he's caused, the families that he broke up, the people that he's, you know, been violent with, been sexual with? Like, he made them do crazy things.
You would not want to hear that song. You don't want to hear no.
Yo, we don't even know that at this point. Exactly. We don't, because I have wild homegirls that were raped by their dads. Their virginities were taken by their dads. So I can't even talk about that. Like, it's on the individual. It's on the individual. Wow. If we supply you with the knowledge and you gonna deny yourself, you know what I'm saying, like, make the choice to be ignorant, that's a choice that you're making. You cannot say anything else, but that is a choice that you're making. And you telling me, okay, well, we're still gonna bump his music, that's cool, but are you educated? Like, are you really understanding the fact that people are hurt? He still has people to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a woman, what's her name? I think her name was Jocelyn or something like that. She's still with him to this day, and she was with him for 3 years. There was another girl who was with him on and off for 9 years, and I think that was the Dominique girl, and he completely changed her whole identity.
Yeah, turned her into like a boy or something.
Yeah, like that. And that was his boy toy allegedly.
Yeah,
all of this is alleged, right? Mm-hmm. All of this is alleged, and that's cool. The point behind the documentary for me was the awareness behind it.
That's exactly it. And
the fact that when you do tell your story, you never know who it's going to affect. Mm-hmm. The whole documentary, I won't even say the whole documentary, but I seen when Andrea Kelly went on The View, and she said what inspired her to talk about her situation was when she seen another one of the girls who was in the documentary she had gone to 2020 or something like that. She went to another outlet and told her story after her encounters. So that caused her to be inspired to share, which caused this one to be inspired to share, which caused it, you know, it should be a spiral event. If we are all talking about the same thing, somebody's gonna hear us. And y'all trying to dismiss it is y'all trying to silence us. And that's crazy to me. I don't understand why. Like, that's what
it's counterproductive as hell.
Yeah.
It really
if my whole thing is the people who say that they're gonna listen to the music, cool, but why do you have to announce that?
Right.
Why do you have to announce that? Like, why do we know that
Yeah.
you're still gonna listen to the music? You chose
to be ignorant after.
Yeah, because that's you telling me that you're choosing to be ignorant and you're choosing to. Cool, that's your choice, but why are you announcing that? But I can't announce that I've been raped. I can't announce that I've been sexually assaulted. But you can announce that you're still gonna listen to my rapist, my attacker. Like, what? That makes no sense to me. Like, I'm beside myself. But what are some of the people what are some of the things that people were saying to you?
Well, a lot of people were more so victim blaming and trying to pass the blame. So like, I've seen a lot of people saying things like, oh, well, where were the parents, yada yada yada. And it's like, we've all been teenagers. Like, we have all been teenagers. Let's not do that. Like, we've all been in places and done things that we had no business doing. And to the point, your mama probably have to come out of the house in her slippers and her pajamas looking for you. That's just what it is. Now, to follow up on that, in most cases, like, because a lot of people are like, well, why didn't they just call the cops, etc. Now, again, like in most domestic situations, especially, the cops cannot do much.
Right.
They cannot do much.
If by the time he pull up to the officers or whatever pull up to the scene and there's no complaining witness or victim, they're not going to do anything. Exactly. Because it's, when I tell you,
beat the fuck up and they can ask her, is anything wrong with you? She could sit there and say no, and that's it.
If there's no complaining, there's been so many situations that I've seen personally where the woman gets arrested sometimes, or you know what I'm saying, like crazy things like that, and it's because of fear. Because by the time she called the police, cool, whether he know or not, he's still talking to her, saying this and saying that. And a couple points that was on the documentary that can, ring loudly throughout a lot of people's lives is the isolation. The first thing, one of the first things, or one of the things that they do is isolate you from your friends and your family and tell you that nobody else cares about you. And I've been in that situations where a motherfucker would tell me like, nobody cares for you how I care for you. I pay for this, I pay for that, da da da. And it's like, that's controlling. That's a form of control. That means you can't do anything without me, and I'm gonna make sure of it. And it doesn't start off looking like that. It starts off like, oh babe, let me just pay for your nails. Oh babe, let me just. That's why big up to every dude that is still a gentleman and you want to pay for everything like that. But I do believe women should always have their own money and their own thing going. But like, it'll start up. No, put your wallet away. Let me pay for this. No, da da da. Don't. And then it goes into, don't you ever take out your wallet and disrespect me like that. Then it turns to, bitch, are you stupid?
Yep.
Now you can't eat. Now you can't do this. Now you can't do that. Now it went from them giving you, and showing you how how much they could provide and how much they could take care of you, to them now taking things away from you and using those same things that they gave you as leverage. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That shit is real, my nigga. That shit is so fucking real. There has been times where I've even not eaten because of some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, I'm upset, or this happened, and now I'm not eating because because of the situation. They don't even have to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And even to damn, you said something earlier that I wanted to address. Shit, it'll come back to me. But yeah, one thing I seen a lot of was people talking about girls in high school.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Girls in high school were talking to older guys and blah.
Exactly.
Bruh, I just remember what I was going to say. So, you said that our parents would have to come out and come look for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I've been raped, I've been molested, I've been through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And my mother didn't know anything until this summer. I told her. So, you should have just told your parent. You should have just called the cops. My nigga, I'm telling you, and I'm real as fuck. And y'all see me all the time. Y'all see me. I'm a real person. You know what I'm saying? It's not as easy as you think. It really isn't. I went through my whole life thinking nobody gave a fuck about me but me. So whatever happened to me, I would have to take that L. So you're not going to tell me how these girls feel, bro. You're not going to tell me. I know exactly what that shit feels like. And you don't want to say anything because depending on who the attacker is or who your abuser is, you don't want to get them in trouble. So now you putting your feelings to the side and you put your feelings to the side and you put whatever the fuck you went through to the side to prevent it from becoming a situation and being at risk for people not believing you or being at risk for, you know, them, you know, increasing whatever. I had a situation where I had a family member torment me for mad long when me and my family moved. Mind you, me and my family moved in with some other shit. So we were there. It was like a temporary situation or whatever. And I just remember being there. And once that shit started, it did not stop until I took control of the situation. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You have to make that choice to step away because if somebody sees they can take advantage of you, they're not going to stop. That shit did not stop until I caught him lacking one time and I just rocked his shit. And then I ran. Granted, he found me, he beat me the fuck up, but it stopped from then because he knew that every time after that, I was no longer a victim. It was on sight, and to take advantage of me further than that would have been a fucking problem. But we gotta call her.
We gotta call her. I think that's my girl Tiff. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, you gotta turn your thing down, babes.
Okay. It's down.
All right. Hey, Tiff. You hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. What's up?
So,
What's your two cents?
I just want to say this though, that I'm sorry that you have to go through all of that. That is something that no person should ever go through.
On her front, you know what I'm saying? So the first time I was sexually assaulted, I was 4. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck fast was I?
Right.
I dressed like a tomboy because when I was younger, I used to be followed by grown-ass men to the store, to wherever. I used to be catcalled, and I was in fucking elementary school. So I chose to start dressing like a dude so that I could be less attractive. Do you know motherfuckers was still on me? It don't matter. It does not matter. I've been wearing baggy clothes since elementary school, and I never stopped being a target.
Okay, let me explain something to you. And this is why I get completely disgusted when they talk about how those black girls are fat, right? So you completely disregard that they're kids. Do you know that that's what white people did to us back in the day? Even up until the 60s, that's what they did. Do you even know that there are studies saying that black girls are more mature and are more angry than little white girls in the same age group because they're black?
Right.
Wow.
Right. I agree.
How dare you not care about your sisters? We are your sisters. We are your mothers. We birthed you. And you have the nerve to sit here and turn around and say a black girl is fast. They deserve it in high school. They want to. We all do stupid shit in high school.
That's a fact.
We all do. Does not make it right. They are for adults. At the end of the day, as a grown-ass man, you should be like, no, go home. Go do your schoolwork, not bust it wide open real quick. How dare you? And the lady can tell you still, when I was growing up at 11 years old, I had a D-cup breast, okay? I was built. I was tall, I was built. There's somebody who was across the street from me. I was 14 years old. He harassed me for 10 years. From the minute I was 14 up until I was 24, he moved away, okay? I did not ask for him to bother me, nothing. Every time I walked out my door, that man was there hitting on me. He was a grown-ass man, right in his 20s, okay? Did I ask for that shit?
Right.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So how dare Taekwondo Jones, whatever his name is, sit here and say that they're looking for a come up? Believe black women. Believe black women. Period.
And another thing, the whole come up up shit doesn't make any fucking sense, because once you say that you've been molested, raped, or whatever, you're looked as damaged goods. You are looked at as damaged goods. Don't nobody want to really fuck with you like that. They feel like you're a target. They feel like you're not clean. So I don't know what they talking about with this come up, because for as long as I can remember, anybody who's come forward as a victim, and people no longer want to associate romantic feelings with them or whatever. So I don't know what type of come up that they're talking about. Like, I really don't.
They always blame the victim, and it's like, how can you sit here and blame? That's why a lot of women do not come forward.
Yeah.
This is why.
Because they feel like there's no point.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's true.
When women come forward, essentially the cops even look at them like they're the perpetrators.
Right.
This is why women don't come forward. This is why black women are not believed. It took the Me Too movement for people to sit here and realize that there's a problem against women. It took for that shit, and you know what? It was a black woman who founded the Me Too movement.
Yeah, I had to tell somebody that the other day.
Until a white woman sat here and said Me Too.
It's been going for 10 years.
Yep.
And it wasn't until you right.
That's true. But
You
Tess,
right.
we are gonna let you go because we have like. I know. Thank you.
Thank you
I
so
love
much
you so
for
much for
calling.
calling in, for real.
And your words.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, love.
Silva, I believe you. I love you. Stay strong. You are doing it, and you're beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll talk to you beautiful ladies later.
Later, Tess.
But yeah, so I felt like for the longest, like, people always saw me as a strong individual and stuff like that. But it's like, niggas don't even know what the fuck I went through to become the person I am right now. But I'll tell you, it wasn't until like maybe 2012 till I even remembered what the fuck happened to me. Because you put that shit in the back of your head so much, you black that part of your life out so much, it's like it didn't even happen until one day something triggers your shit, and that's all you could think about.
It's crazy because you could ask Stephanie. She was the first person I told about my rape, and like I didn't know for years that it was a rape. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we talked about this, where it's like sometimes you don't even realize what the fuck to call it. You just know it wasn't right.
Right.
And so for years I didn't even know to identify it as a rape until I was watching something. I'm like, oh, that happened to me. Oh, that happened. Yes, I know. I said no mad times. Oh, that's rape. I didn't know. And so I had blacked out part of my life, like you said, for years. And it took me maybe, I want to almost say like 8 years later, where like I thought about it, I played that day back in my mind, and I broke down. I was like, yeah, I really was raped before.
No, that happened to me
crazy.
too. Cause I was seeing somebody, and I got super drunk. Like, you see that bottle of Jack? I drank half of that bottle because I was upset. You know what I'm saying? I didn't eat. I drank half of that fucking bottle, and I was drunk. The person I was with or whatever, they brought me back to their place. But I'm thinking, it's like, all right, well, I clearly can't fucking go nowhere. So he's probably just gonna like, let me stay here and sleep it off. Cool. I like not even wake up. Like, you don't even, something in you kind of makes your eyes open, but you're not awake, if you get what I'm saying. And I just know that my legs was behind my fucking head, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, stop. Oh, nah. And proceeds. So I ended up passing out again. I just remember waking up and just putting my shit on and just going about my day, heading home or whatever. And then on the bus, I'm like, yo, like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, I put the tip in and it felt good, so I kept going. And it's just like,
wow.
Let's not do that again. But I didn't even know at that point that was considered date rape. It wasn't until, like you said, years later, when I'm talking about it, I'm like, yo, this shit don't even sound right. Me repeating it back to myself, and then every time after was just like, because that was my boyfriend at the time, and that was our first time being intimate, and it was just like every time now I was just trying to make up for the first time. Like, okay, well, we were gonna have sex eventually, so you know, or
I did the same shit.
Or you know, maybe if I do it enough times, it'll feel right, or you know, well, he's my boyfriend, so
We have another caller, and real quick, Tiffany said the human brain blocks out bad memories in order to survive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Caller, what's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, yo, this Money Mo.
What's up?
Money Mo, Southside Jamaica, yo.
What's up? What's up?
It's good here, but it's all telling situation shit. Don't get me wrong, the nigga is definitely out of line. He's definitely out of line, and I'm all for the fist up for the females. It's a fucked up situation. But niggas is on this nigga back, right? And he got the money, he had the power, he had the fame, he had everything. He had everything that a nigga should have at that time for a young female to look at like, oh well, you know, let me gravitate my energy towards him. Or if he's a Pied Piper, let me just go towards him because he's out here every day. Nobody was forced to do anything. You feel me? And this is why I say that to say this. Nobody was forced to do nothing. They all had their own mind regardless. I know a lot of females at 14 or 13, they were strong-minded. You know what I'm saying? So it comes from the parenting of how everything's gonna go. I blame the parents. That's what I blame. I don't blame him. He was just out there, he's a pedophile. His niggas should have been locked up, niggas didn't lock him up. Everybody was just they were scared to get to him. That's what I'm talking about. So when Shorty was on the phone, I forgot her name, but I mean, she was basically referring to what I was saying. And I can state my facts. Because I've been around that era where that R.Kelly situation and allegations came up and everybody was talking about this, but while I'm in high school, all these younger chicks was even if they didn't have no fame or nothing, as long as the nigga was older, he had a little money on him, or he selling his little tree or something, niggas is on him.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you think that is?
Why do you think what is?
That the young girls would be going for men or entertaining men that are twice their age?
Because they ain't had no fathers.
Okay.
They ain't had no father figures.
Okay.
They ain't had the type of money
exactly.
They can fly at a certain age.
So
there's people that's more privileged.
Right.
People that's more privileged. That's something.
Can I insert something right now? Sometimes you don't know how to say no. Sometimes you don't know how to say no with fear of the repercussion. So yeah, he didn't like, from what we know, hold on one second, hold on. So from what we know, there was no gun to these ladies' heads. But if somebody makes you feel comfortable, that's the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. Somebody makes you feel comfortable. Somebody shows you that they can take care of you, and that he made these girls feel like he was in love with them, and they fell in love with him.
Here's why,
and they took advantage of him.
But here's
so
why,
saying no, not as easy as you think. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's not.
That's one-sided though, right?
But here's why I asked you what I asked you, right? Just like y'all young dudes that grew up in the hood, y'all say y'all were forced to sell drugs, which is why the cops be on y'all asses now and be shooting y'all dead. And what we do, we blame the environment, correct? So you cannot sit here and blame the young girls and not understand that your environment, you're a product of your environment. If you said everything you just said, which is one, they're poor, they're growing up from poor environments. They don't have their dads around. Some of them probably don't have their mothers around. What do you think happens to a child like that?
When you have to
so
think
when
for
you're
yourself.
dangling, he might not have to have dangle candy or put a gun in their face, but you're dangling money, you're dangling status in these young girls' faces that don't have shit, and they look and they idolize someone like R.Kelly. That's what y'all have to understand too. So we're all idolizing the glitz and the glamour, so everybody is getting it how they need to get it.
That's why I said that man is wrong for what he did. You know what I'm saying? He's wrong for that. I'm not saying this ain't this okay or he get kudos for that nigga is dead wrong for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying they gonna judge this man over a situation that could have been.
No.
We not about to do that. No, we not about to do that because as much as you saying that you're not giving a man a cop out, You giving him a cop out.
Hold on.
How you not judging him?
Hold up.
But you judging the parents.
Listen,
Like,
hold on. This man, you cannot say somebody, you cannot acknowledge that somebody is a pedophile and then say you cannot blame them in the same breath. That is insane. Now, I've been saying this for days now. This R. Kelly shit is pissing me the fuck off. But I'm glad we having a conversation. And you made a very great example a few minutes ago. You said they're not dangling candy, right? Now, I've been saying this to people just to gain some kind of perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why when we're kids, your parents tell you do not take candy from strangers.
Exactly.
Why? Because predators know that children like candy, so they're going to use that to get what they want from you, right? But guess what? When you get older, when you're 15, 16, 17, the candy's just different.
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not actual
Exactly.
candy, but it's bags, it's money, it's cars, you know what I'm saying? It's saying shit like you're beautiful, I love you. It's all still candy, my nigga. Just the candy's different. You know what I'm saying? So the older you get, the fucking game don't change.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. Here's the
Exactly.
biggest thing. Fuck the money. Fuck all that other shit. At the end of the day, if you're not used to somebody loving you, bro, like
And then
showing you
right.
that they give a fuck
Right.
about you, my
Right.
nigga,
And
and
then
then somebody comes around and shows you like, yo, I'm gonna make sure you're good. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm
Exactly.
gonna give you this stability, security, and comfort. Yo, you cannot tell me that that's not the candy. You know what I'm
That
saying?
is
Like,
candy.
it is.
that's
You know what I'm saying?
crazy.
Because listen, I'm not a predator, but I know from having a couple conversations from a chick what kind of home she came from.
Yo,
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
what's
and if I
what's
choose
even
to take advantage of that, I can. But because I'm not a
Exactly.
creep, I don't.
exactly.
But
And
as
that's the thing. There's a lot of fucking rape culture going out here with
really
the
is,
mentality
bro.
of men. Y'all are too fixed on women are property to be owned,
Yep.
to be dominated. Y'all are really fixed on that. So when somebody acts out or says something, now it's a problem because now it's like, whoa, objects are not supposed to have emotions. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. That's dead ass. If somebody else calls up here with the bullshit, bro.
Alright,
Nah, y'all could
real
call up
quick.
and express yourself. Y'all could call up and express yourself.
Yo, call her. What's your name? Where
Y'all
you
could call up
from?
and express.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm from East New York, and I just want to
Hi,
talk about. Hi, baby. I want to refer to the guy that just hung up. First of all, he was promising a record deal. Did he forget that part? He was promising a record deal, and he took it off.
That's how he, yo.
I'm sorry.
No.
That's how he brought them in because he's an artist and they wanted to sing.
Exactly. He was promising them a bunch of stuff, and he didn't have to dangle candy in their face, but at the end of the day, they're young.
They're impressionable.
Young. A lot of them probably didn't have fathers in their life. So, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, another thing, as far as, like, the Leah situation, she was 15, so she was just as a victim as everybody else.
Exactly.
Married at 15, but she was fucking
And
with
she
him
got
before
pregnant
that.
by
She was
him,
fucking.
actually.
She met him at 12. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
And
why a lot of females don't come out when they're victims, because they get victim shamed. Like, you can't expect people to sit here and want to talk about that if you're going to turn around and shame them for coming out and speaking as a victim.
Right,
It just
exactly.
don't make sense. Like, a lot of guys don't understand because they've never been in that situation. So it's easy for them to say, like, even walking down the street and being harassed, like, you got to have the straight face on.
Yeah, exactly. And then they say, oh, you got an attitude and you mean, but they don't realize you got to be
I know I'm
defensive.
just protecting myself because I know you get a little friendly, you smirk a little bit, they're going to feel like they got to grab you and do all this extra stuff. They mad aggressive, like, they just be mad extra. So at the end of the day, like, that's just what it is. Like, I just had to call and refer to him because he pissed me off. But I'm listening.
Thanks for
Thank you,
calling.
baby. Love you.
So here's two things. So one, people are defending R. Kelly because black men have been under attack for a very long time.
Yes.
And I won't act like that's true. That's not true. It is true. When it comes to our black idols, they do make a point to cancel. The cancel culture makes a point to cancel them and whatever the case may be. That's very true. And two, he does have a great career. He gave us a lot of songs. He wrote for a lot of people. But we are not going to act like that was not propaganda, that he did not know all of this. and use it for his purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not dumb. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he's dumb. He may not could read and write properly, whatever, but that just heightens his other creep skills. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, y'all, Stanley.
Hey, Stanley. Oh, I was waiting for you. Hey.
Yeah, I'm interested. I want to like talk to you guys is on.
No, please do.
Because
you got knowledge. I know.
So it's been weird because I watched this whole R.Kelly thing, and the one thing that's really been frustrating me is this: is that every time we talk about a situation like this, whether it's on the block or it's whether it's a documentary or whether it's happening to somebody we know, we always have advice for the victim. We always, oh, why did she do this? Why did she go there? Why did she say this? Why don't we stop telling the victims what to do, and why don't we start telling men to stop being rapists?
Right.
The problem is that you have a whole bunch of dumb victims. The problem is you have a bunch of rapists, a bunch of men who think that sexual assault is okay. And particularly for black women, any man who's calling here popping pleas for a 50-year-old black man that can't read and is holding on hostage like you lost the plot. Because the fact of the matter is black women are like, we already know white America doesn't value black women. But when black men don't value black women, it's a serious problem. And right now, the number one killer for black women between the ages of 15 and 30 is death. They're being murdered. And guess who's killing them? Black men. And, you know, when I hear people calling into the show and they're talking to police for R.Kelly or they're telling y'all what these women can be doing, it makes it very clear to me how you can have so many black women and girls being kidnapped and raped and murdered every single day by people that look just like them.
Now, Stanley, I have a real quick question for you too, because I remember having this conversation before I had this debate, and the response I get a lot to that, to like the statistics you just gave, is, well, who are black women mostly around? It's just the fact that, oh, you know, we're in an environment where it's nothing but other black people. Is there truth to that as to why the numbers are so high amongst black women and black men, or is it just in general?
Yeah. So black on black crime, yeah, most communities are going to have high volume of crime against each other because they tend to coalesce around each other.
Right.
But when it comes to the number one death for women between the age of 15 and 30 being murdered, and that being from other men, and more than likely black men, that isn't an issue of them being around a bunch of black men. That's just an issue of a large volume of violence against black women. That's the bigger issue. And like, you know, people keep talking about ways for women to like, oh, you know, do this so you don't get your ass beat. And what we really need to be doing is having a conversation with black men to like, why are so many black men putting their hands on women, murdering women, raping women? And what do we need to do to decolonize their minds and get them to deal with their mess so that this doesn't happen?
I have another question for you too also. Because a lot of people were kind of trying to say that this whole R. Kelly thing is propaganda, and oh, it's a, you know, I think you saw a comment also, it's a distraction from the government being shut down. What are your thoughts on people that have that approach to it?
My opinion, the people who are doing that is, well, there's two different kinds of people who do this. So they say that women who tend to blame victims of sexual assault are either one or two things. It's Stockholm syndrome, they've been victims, so they have to go into the other, because if they don't, they have to look at their own trauma.
Right.
Who haven't been assaulted, and they blame the victim because if it's possible that this person did all the right things and it still happens to them, that means it happens to you.
Exactly.
For men, when you say things like that, which is completely untrue, because you can walk the shoe down. I'm talking to you right now, and I'm typing an email. You can do multiple things.
Exactly.
Those men are usually compensating because they may have done something similar, or they know they have potential to, and they'd rather not look in the mirror.
See, I had a lot of women saying that, you know, this isn't not to say that wasn't a big deal, but they were saying like, well, this happened before, we've been doing this, he's been doing this, so it's only hype now because it's on Lifetime, and it's only hype now because it's on TV. Why is it such a big deal now? This is just going to be something that's going to blow over in the morning.
That's not true. Well, first of all, most of us were in high school.
That was my whole thing.
There was nothing we could have done.
Exactly.
So we should be looking at others and not throwing him in the garbage. Second of all, there's been a consistent movement to cancel R. Kelly since at least 2004. There's a whole group called Youth R. Kelly, which has costed millions of dollars in concert proceeds, and that's been taken off the air at multiple radio stations across the country. This is nothing new. This might be new, like to the level of what he was doing to a lot of us, but it's not new. 2 years ago, an expose came out about how he was holding women hostage. I covered that on my own show and wrote about it. Nothing about this is new. What is new is that we're having open conversations about sexual assault and the attack on black women.
Exactly.
And a lot of black men need to look in the mirror because you are the assaulters.
Right.
Thank you so much, Stanley, for calling. I needed you to drop that gem. You are appreciated. Thank you.
So we're not gonna act like it's only black men that assault people. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna act like there aren't people who hang around courtrooms obsessing over murderers and, you know, people being prosecuted. There are people like that. There are people who kind of become they fan out for certain criminals. Like that's how, some cults, they get their people, and he has a cult. You know what I'm saying? Certain cults, they get their people for people who kind of fan out to their, you know, the shit that they're being prosecuted, whether it's murder, whether it's rape, whether it's this, whether it's that. There are sick people in the world, you know what I'm saying? There are, that's very, 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 very true. But we can't cancel we just can't cancel all of these R. Kelly victims just because of his music sales.
His music sales.
That's the only.
And his status,
that's the only thing y'all are saying.
Yeah.
We can't cancel him because of his music sales. One thing I would say is that we know right now that he was allegedly molested by his mother, his sister, and possibly some man from his neighborhood.
I heard his mother wasn't true, but I did hear the sister and maybe the aunt or something like that, or maybe like a family or friend.
Somebody told me there was a guy too, so
yeah, I won't be surprised. And that's another thing. See now, we always talk about the women that's been molested and raped, etc. Please do understand, there have been a lot of men, especially black men, that get molested, and not just by other men, but by women as well. This is not a double standard that we're trying to point out, because you know, older women dealing with younger men is a real thing too. You know what I'm saying? I know, I forgot, I think we had a caller recent last week or something like that, but I know someone that was saying that he was molested by like an aunt or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
By my babysitter's daughter when I was a kid.
See? And like, as much as like, you know, we are used to men kind of like bigging it up and like, oh, you fucked your baby mama, like, it's like a lot of these men are actually traumatized by these things. You know what I'm saying? It actually does do something to their mental, and the way most of them lash out is usually by becoming womanizers.
To take their control back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, please understand and notice the red flags, because he's not a womanizer because some girl broke his heart in the 3rd grade. That's not always the case. Sometimes he's been molested by the older lady at his church. Who knows? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it would be something along those lines where it's like now he feels like he can't trust any woman.
And here's my thing with that. Like, this is why I don't want it to be like we coming for y'all or, you know, vice versa. I want it to be a conversation. I want to understand. Like, but I'm not gonna take that away from the fact that you need to reap the consequences for your actions.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. You have to learn from your mistakes. The nigga put out a 19-minute song talking about I admit. He done wrote countless records that are telling. He done did a lot of things. He's been in and out of court since '94, right? So it's like everything is there. It's just up to us to band together to make a difference. Because clearly those voices from those lawsuits that got settled out of court or dismissed, and he got dropped on 14 counts, you know what I'm saying? Those voices need to be heard. So people did go to the police, sis and bro. People did go to the police, and they were met with a settlement, or they were met with this. Oh, I know your house is being foreclosed. Oh, I know you want to send this and this to college. I know you need this rent or whatever. People take advantage of your weaknesses, and especially because like your parents, as much as they love you, if they haven't been through what you've been through, they can't necessarily identify that pain and that hurt. You know what I'm saying?
And let me
so
say
if
this
somebody presents them a situation like, yo, I can take care of your bills for life.
Exactly.
Like, I pretend like they're sympathetic or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna take care of your bills for life. Oh, he cares. Oh, all right, fine. Let's take care of me. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here still like, well, but he's still out here. That's the point. We don't want him to hurt nobody else.
Exactly.
That's the main thing. Like, jail or no jail at this point, we want everybody he comes into contact with to know that he has another
support.
side. You know what I'm saying? And you have support. Like, you don't have to do it. Like, you don't have to stay there because, like people were saying, they're not being
held like hostage per se, but
yeah, they're not being handcuffed to Bannister from what we know.
Yeah.
You know, all of this is alleged, but they're not. I haven't heard of anything. Somebody being handcuffed and like kind of gagged and you know whatever. So they do get to a point. Some of the people in the documentary got to a point where it's like, all right, no, I have to leave, and that's all willpower. And people forget that abuse is not just, you know, physical, but it's mental, it's emotional. There's many ways to abuse somebody. There's many ways to take control of somebody, and there are many ways to be a victim.
Exactly. And let me throw out this too about the fact that do your research, because what Stanley just touched on, as far as everyone that keeps saying like, oh well, this is old and nothing was done. First of all, understand that things take time. Had that man been arrested from the first time we even heard any type of gossip, y'all would have been all up and through the court system's ass like, oh, how you know you ain't got proof? Y'all said that about Cosby. He got accused with 52 fucking women. So things take time. That's all it is. Stop talking about, oh, that's old news. No, it's not. It's
because it got dismissed though. Because it.
Let me just touch on it real quick.
Oh, okay. Raccoon is in the building.
I have a little bit different views from you guys. Like you said, because you were young, you didn't really know about anything that was going on. But I grew up in a household where I was not allowed to listen to R. Kelly. R. Kelly was not allowed to be played in the house. My mother, if he played and my friends came over and they played him, my mother said turn it off. I knew he was married to Aaliyah when she was 15 years old. I knew that he was, and I'm gonna correct some vernacular that's become common with people just saying it because it's popular, which is the word pedophile. What R. Kelly is, because pedophilia is being attracted to someone that's prepubescent, and that's not what he's attracted to. He has ephebophilia, which is being attracted to young children or girls, whatever, who are between the ages of 14 and 19, and then hebophilia is 11 to 14. So I would say he has ephebophilia, which is, so 14 and 19, they've reached maturity. They may look like women, but they're clearly not women. They don't have the mindset of women. So, yeah, I just wanted to correct that part because it's a whole different entire thing and on its own. And for the people who are saying like blaming like parents, because I've been seeing it on Facebook all day, and it's just been like pissing me off. And it's just like, oh, parents need to raise their children to look for these things and blah blah. And we keep calling him a creep. But you have to remember that if he's going after women, he's going after people. He's not being the creep. He's being the person that your father raised you to want. He's being the person that your father raised you to say, this is the type of man you need to be with. This is the type of man that is going to treat you right. That's who he's pretending to be. So it's like, now you're young, and you've listened to this your whole life, and it's like, R. Kelly is doing all the things that my father said a man should do for me. Why would I go back home? Why would I leave? Why would I tell this man no when I was raised that this was what I was supposed to be with?
Right. I think even especially the mothers telling them that.
Yeah.
Especially the mothers telling them
that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be with a man who's gonna provide for you. R. Kelly's doing that. You have to be with a man who's gonna say nice things to you, bring you places. Even if it's show you off. The fact that he's showing off children is besides me, but show and like and people keep saying all the things are alleged. I don't care if 50 other things are alleged.
Right.
He literally married Aaliyah when she was 15 years old.
Right.
Someone faked papers to say that she was 18. So you guys know it's wrong.
Right.
That happened. I don't need a list of things in order for you to be a rapist. I need you to do one thing. One thing that's fact-based. You are a rapist. Like, I don't understand how and then people are like, oh, well, you know, as a guy, I was with older women when I was younger. You were molested. I just want you to know that. I had a conversation with a friend. He's like, I lost my virginity at 9. And I was like, well, did you lose your virginity to another 9-year-old? No, I lost my virginity to someone that's 15. She molested you.
Right.
I don't care how you go on Facebook and you're like, oh, I conquered that, or nigga, you were not smooth when you were 9. You're not talking about their panties. They tricked you into believing that you conquered them. They molested you. They took advantage of you because you just were not that. Not to say you dumb, but you just not a smart. You're not grown. You don't understand.
You didn't have
what's
the
going-
information.
Right.
You didn't have the information. Yeah.
They molested you. And you think for the rest of your life now, you think you smooth as shit
Right,
because
exactly.
you just talk this grown woman out of no.
And that's
no,
when the
you
womanizing
didn't.
starts.
Right.
Exactly.
So I just had to, cause I was over there like I don't understand people, and I don't give a fuck if some 15-year-old was in the middle of the street screaming, "I'm wet, come fuck me." As a grown ass man, you tell that little girl to go to fuck home.
Exactly. That's your responsibility as an adult.
That's
Right.
Period.
I don't give a fuck what. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if she's butt ass naked at your fucking front door. Don't put. She's a child. The fact that you want to touch her is an issue.
Yes.
You should see that as a problem. The fact that you look at this girl and you're like, damn, she's dressed sexy. Stop for a second and think about what you just
Right.
what you just
What you
thought.
just said, yeah.
Because if I saw her dressed like that, I'd be like, she's dressed fucking crazy. She should go home.
Right.
No part of me wants to touch you. So yeah, I was just angry. I had to come over here and because I was over here sweating, bro. I was like, no, what is going on?
Yeah, because you hear people trying to, maybe not even openly, like everyone is trying to subtly defend him.
They're trying to find a
Subtly,
reason.
yeah,
They're trying to find a
it's
reason
like,
to let him rock.
yeah.
You know, the fact that he settled out of court plays a big part of it because it's like, well, he didn't get convicted of anything.
Yeah, the system didn't find him guilty.
Yeah, he didn't get
Right.
convicted of anything,
Exactly.
so that takes away everything. And it's
Right.
like,
9 times out of 10 when people settle out of court is because they know they're wrong.
Right.
And they're trying to avoid the consequences.
right, they're trying to
Or
avoid the
lessen the
fact.
consequences.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid that the probability of them losing.
Exactly.
And if you're right, you know what I'm saying, if you didn't do anything wrong, why would that even matter? Why would you have multiple people take you to court
Right.
for a rape? Like,
Do you guys think
somebody
He should-
had the fucking audacity to throw Chris Brown in this shit and say, well, Chris Brown did so and so to Rihanna.
Because he got
Well,
into a fight with his girlfriend. He was wrong, but this is completely
he was wrong as fuck.
Like-
He was wrong as fuck for putting his hands on her. But like I said before, she also put her hands on him. There's no right there. Both of them need to be accountable. But at this point, we're gonna hold
But they
Just the
need to be held
victim?
accountable because they're both grown.
because they're
that's
both
the key
grown.
thing. That's the key thing.
Now,
is
Chris
because they're
Brown
both
was
adults.
30 and Rihanna was 17.
Right.
That's a completely
Right.
different story.
Right. Regardless, nobody should be putting hands on nobody. You know what I'm saying?
But my question is, do y'all feel like R. Kelly should be going straight to jail, or should he receive mandatory counseling? Because we do touch on the fact that both.
Prison is supposed to be to make people better. You're
But
supposed
it's
to
not.
go into
It
prison.
doesn't go.
You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah,
supposed to go
yeah.
into prison and come out a different person, a changed person, a better person. So since the prison system is not doing that, yeah, absolutely he needs counseling, but he also needs prison. But we gotta understand, like, prison is slavery.
Exactly.
Are they really? And not saying that he shouldn't go to prison, he absolutely should. But the way the prison system is set up, we need to change. We need to change. There are only some people who see like the options of being in the library, educating themselves, using this time for solace, and reintroduce themselves to maybe something peaceful or some religious, spiritual, whatever the case may be. Only a few people that I know of do that. Other people that I know, they go into jail, they lift weights, and they come back out here on some Aki shit. Other people that I know that have gone to jail, they use whatever plugs they have in jail, they come back out, and they, start moving the streets more calculated. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about your mentality. So I definitely think that he needs therapy. But what I've told Avery, shout out to Avery, because she was dropping a lot of facts on her live the other day, is he needs to speak out. I believe he needs to finally speak out and say what the fuck happened. Stop lying, because it's killing you too. Cause it's like you want to say something, but you just also want to still be seen as this hero,
You don't wanna say
this
the wrong
figure.
thing.
You know what I'm saying? I fear that everybody's gonna turn their back on you, and then you'll be left with the person that you really are. But bro, you need to have that conversation. You need to confess your sins, or there's nothing that's gonna be changed. The fact that he still has girls to this day is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I feel like some people you can, after a while, sometimes it takes time, they fight the control, the control aspect of it all, and they break free and they get away from the abuse. There are other people who don't have the strength to do that, and they have to wait for the abuser to let them go.
Right.
In one of my situations, the situation where I was date raped, I stayed with him, and I didn't even break up with him until he broke up with me. And he cheated on me. And I know he was cheating on me. And I still could not muster the strength to let him go. But when that nigga say, yo, I think we should break up or whatever, I felt so happy and relieved that I didn't have to be the one to do it. For whatever reason, I promise you, it wasn't until the last 2 years where I've always been wise, I've always been strong, I've always been all of these things, but there's just a different level of awareness, a different level of strength, a different level of accountability that you have when you really sit back and analyze situations. And we don't have the tools like that all the time. Right. We don't have the time, the space, and like I said, we do black a lot of things out of our memory, so we don't even deal with them. So pretty much we're not ready to deal with certain things at a certain point in time. It's like, well, I'll deal with it later, or I'll deal with it when my situation's different, or I'll deal with it this. We always give ourselves an excuse. We give the people an excuse. But when you really deal with some shit, bro, that's when you start unlocking a different level of wisdom that you can pass down to people. So it's not, oh, well, how come these 14-year-old girls didn't come forward and say what they had to say or whatever? They probably was not in the mental space to be able to do so. And not even oftentimes it's the parents. It could be the parents, it could not be the parents. Those are all variables. What it is that you have to be in a mental space to be able to do those things. Those are all choices. We all make our own choices or whatever the case may be, but we're not going to take away from the fact that when you are weak, when you have been broken, when you have been whatever, you become very susceptible to a lot of shit. That's the main thing we at right now. You become very susceptible to a lot of things. Sometimes somebody can just say one thing and that'll change the course of your whole thinking, of your whole movements, of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick too, Tiffany says, so he'll never change. He's afflicted with a lot of mental issues, PTSD being one of them, narcissism definitely being one of them. He would never see what he's doing wrong. I kind of agree with that.
It has to be a choice.
You gotta
that
identify your narcissist, because there's a lot of them out here. But what you were saying, Rico?
Like, how many fucking kids in high school, 14, 15, 16, 17, get a fucked up report card and then don't tell their fucking parents? Why? Because they're afraid of the consequences.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same fucking shit. When you're a child, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want, especially when you're dealing with, an authority figure. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or an adult, period. You know what I'm saying? When you're afraid of what the consequences of some shit might be, you shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I remember I was a shithead in fucking high school. My parents barely ever saw my fucking report card. Why? Because I knew it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. Let's not act like these fucking... It's easy, hindsight is always 20/20. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to sit here in our mid-20s talk about what people should have done when they was fucking 14. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you're 25, you was 14 9 years ago. 9 years ago, you wasn't thinking how you think now, stupid.
Yep. Right. Let's talk about it.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
You're not going to know what you're going to do until you're in a situation.
That's a fact, and that's
a big fucking fact.
Hold on. I got something to say about that, too. I hate when people say, well, I would have did this. You're
not gonna know.
Listen, I've had guns in my fucking face. I've had niggas ready to fucking kill me on some dumb shit. Like, you never fucking know what you're willing to do when you're put in a situation like that. You never know. I've had 15 niggas standing outside of a fucking room ready to be like, yo, come the fuck outside. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck am I going to do to get myself out of this situation? You never fucking know what you're willing to do to preserve your fucking life.
Right.
You don't know.
And sometimes you don't even know until after it fucking happened.
Yep.
Because I've been in a situation, I walked into a room, they walked in after me, closed the door, and proceeded to stand by the door. And it's like, you tell me what the fuck you gonna do with somebody lock you in a room and they trying to fuck. You tell me what you gonna do. I need somebody to call in and tell me what the fuck you gonna do. Some big nigga who's 6 feet plus and you my size, I'm like 5'7". You know what I'm saying? I'm small. What the fuck are you gonna do?
Right.
Cause I know a lot of people would not, and that's not to comfort anybody, but a lot of people in that situation might not have reacted how I reacted. Everybody is differently. That situation could have gone 1,000 different ways. I got out of the situation on some strategic shit because I'm just on a different level and I know what certain things look like. That's another big thing. A lot of these kids don't know what certain things look like.
Right. Yep.
Especially because, you know,
They done been through it.
cartoons get a little rapey. Movies get a little rapey. Shows get a little rapey.
Yep.
So it's like, before I was saying some people don't know when to say no or have the strength to say no sometimes, but some people don't know what the fuck to look for until it's too late.
Exactly.
You don't know what the fuck to look for until you fucking tied up or you're in the middle of the situation.
Some people shut down.
Yeah. My fight or flight kicked in like in that specific genre of you know, survival recently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very disrespectful, I'm very mean, and that's part of my defense mechanism. But once a nigga got past that, it's like,
What do you do?
it's either I kill you or now I'm trying to figure out how I could preserve both of our lives and There's a lot of fucking things to think about. I need somebody to really dig deep and tell me what you would do.
Like, some people's mechanism or way of, you know, strategically handling the situation.
It's a way for it to be over.
Exactly.
Wait for it'll just be over. It'll be over soon. Because I definitely did that shit when niggas was torturing me back in the day.
When I was in junior high school, I went to I-59 in Queens for 1 year, and I remember going to school one day and everybody was like, yo, such and such brought a gun to school to kill you. And I was just like, and I just sat there and I said nothing. Didn't go to no dean, didn't tell no teacher, didn't tell nobody else, even though the whole school talking about it. And to this day, I'm like, yo, somebody brought a gun to school to kill you, and you said you did nothing. You didn't try to defend yourself. I literally just shut down, like, yo, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I feel like my parents raised me to defend myself. Like, they talk to me and they're like, well, don't let anybody hit you, blah, blah, all that. But now I'm in the situation. Now I'm just like, yo.
How many parents told us what to do when like you're dealing with a motherfucker with a gun?
Right.
Like my pops is from the streets. You feel me? I was running the streets when I was in high school. Like I've had motherfucker with a gun to my face. I'm just thinking, damn, this might be the fuck it.
And the opposite for me is that I'm not from that household. My mother's a nerd. My mother's a nerd. My father's a nerd. They both. I'm not from that. I just happen to live in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and I was just this nerd kid that did not belong there. And so I'm just like, I have no idea what to do. The dean called me in and she's like, so were you gonna come talk to me? And I was like, no, I literally did not know how to handle the situation, and I'm literally in it, and this is my life on the line, and my brain shut down.
Yeah.
I was like, I could just imagine how it is for someone who's literally being attacked in the moment.
Right.
Of course you shut down because you don't even want to know, you don't want to realize what's going on right now.
We do have a caller. Oh, okay. We're gonna take this call and then go to commercial break. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Alright, you hung up. Alright, guys, but we're gonna take a quick commercial break, guys. We're gonna come back and we're gonna touch a little bit on that McDonald's situation, actually, and we're gonna get a little bit more into are black women actually protected in this country? Oh no, we're gonna wait for commercial, y'all. Go back. Alright, we went. Go back. We were on the Lethal Lipz podcast page on Instagram, and we asked some of you guys to ask us some questions, like relationship stuff or business questions, whatever y'all got. So I'll read out one of the questions. All right. So one of the questions started off, how long should you be in a relationship if they don't pop the question?
Ooh.
I feel like we kind of touched on this before a little bit.
Yeah.
And we kind of, I guess, agreed more or less that every relationship is different, obviously. So you move at the pace of whoever your partner is. The biggest thing is you and your partner have to be on the same page. If y'all are not on the same page, then you cannot expect that other person to understand that, oh, you have a 2-year, time limit or whatever the case is. You can't 2 years into the relationship switch it up and be like, yo, but I thought we would have been engaged by now. Like, nah, these are things that you honestly have to discuss from the beginning of the relationship to see what that person's mentality is. Now, granted, niggas be switching up, bitches too, you know what I'm saying? But people switch
circumstances change.
So I it's like you gotta temperature check your shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like after every year or every couple months that you feel like you're with this person, you should ask them like, do you see us getting married next year? Do you see us getting married the year after that? Kind of see where that person's head is at, because you guys have to always be on the same page. That's really what it boils down to.
See, I agree with that, but I also want to insert the fact that I have a strong belief that forever starts when you decide it starts. Mm-hmm. It isn't, you don't necessarily need a ring to be like, oh, we're going to be together forever. You feel me? Mm-hmm. It's all about if you feel like you're ready and you're whole enough within your own space, in your own mind, in your own, situation, finances, emotional, mental, whatever. You're whole enough to now become one with somebody else. I think it comes down to that.
1,000% with you right now.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you get into marriages, everything intertwines. So you don't want to bring in drama or problems or whatever the case may be. Granted, you guys are going to face them together, but that's not something that you want to subject your partner to. Mm-hmm. You want to be the best that you can be for that person, so that when you create that union, the union could flourish, as opposed to being a foundation. The foundation should already be there. You know what I'm saying?
Broken relationships turn into broken marriages. Man.
Exactly.
Right.
Don't think that you proposing or popping the question is going to solve an issue. Mm-hmm. You need to solve the issue. Mm-hmm. You need to make sure that everything, like your bank account, is okay, because you don't want to come into the marriage with debt, because the person is gonna take your debt. Your debt becomes my debt. If you are not in the habit of dealing with your issues and dealing with your problems, now when we have the smallest problem, it might conflict with the whole entire marriage. Now you're holding the marriage over my head and divorce over my head.
You preaching right now.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a situation to be like, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to divorce you. Because that becomes a control thing. And you shouldn't be controlling anybody in a relationship, but better more a marriage. You should be not doing anything but loving, growing, supporting, and creating an environment that you would want to raise your kids in and leave a legacy for your kids, so they can have healthy, happy relationships. The goal is to be happy. Mm-hmm. That's the goal, period. Mm-hmm. The goal is to be happy.
So we trying to get married tomorrow? City Hall right there. It's like $25. $25.
Y'all play.
We need one with me. Let me with it.
Y'all play all day.
Ain't married. Nah, but another question is.
Church of Silver, boy.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I be preaching or whatever.
It's the hookah today. That's what happened.
This was another good question though, right? Why do women spend their entire relationships trying to catch their dude cheating?
Facts.
Just leave and be happy.
Facts.
So I'll say this.
Facts. Let me know.
It's like, amen. I'll say this because I remember watching this episode of the Braxtons, and I think the mother or the sister said something like, unless you have a plan of action, don't bother digging and looking to see if your husband or whoever is cheating. Now, I 1000% agree, because oftentimes we'll sit there and I'm a firm believer in, you know, if you look for something, you're gonna find it. Period. Because oftentimes, like,
it's
you know, especially with
intuition.
social media and all that stuff.
I gotta chime in.
Besides just that, you start to overthink the situation. So like, if you go on someone's overanalyze, that's really what I was trying to say too.
You go 7 minutes to text you back.
Right, and then or like you see something on social media, and then you start 2 + 2 make 4, and then like, you know what I'm saying?
It don't even make sense. And you be looking at her like, what are you talking about?
So you definitely find what you're looking for, and it might not always be what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like she said too. Now, if you do see something and you know this is what it is, you have to have a plan of action, because at this point now all you're doing is stressing yourself out and stressing out the situation. Then you're quote unquote nagging, and then like now you guys are fighting constantly. You're creating now a toxic environment because you refuse to leave based on what you saw. So unless
you just gonna stay, what you looking
right, what you looking for, and that's the truth though. Like it don't make sense.
Man, you stressed.
I'm not upset.
You stressed.
I'm just ain't shit. I was gonna be upset. I was gonna be ain't shit regardless.
Now to answer the question a little bit, as far as why some women stay, one, you have the Stockholm syndrome. So a lot of women feel complacent to stay. Also, that woman could, in a sense, be checking out her pros and cons. So she probably feels like, well, you know what? I'm getting the stability, I'm getting to this, and then I'm getting a good dick, I'm getting a good house. Fuck it, like let him cheat. And that's how some women think. And so now they're sitting there like, yo, I'm just gonna bitch until I get over it.
Yo, here's my thing though. Here's my thing though, and I really be trying to. I really be wanting to ask women this question. Are you mad? Are you mad he cheated because of the good dick? Are you mad that somebody else is experiencing what you experienced? Because I feel like it's that's the case for a lot of men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like you kind of. You're taking into possession the person's genitals.
Right.
That's my dick. That's my pussy. That's da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like I be wanting to. I be wanting. Absolutely. Yeah. But I want to ask some women, like, are you mad that the person cheated because of literally because of their dicks?
Yeah.
Because. That's the only reason why I could understand. I won't say that's the only reason why I can understand, but that's one of the reasons why I think people do stay. Where it's like, okay, well, I probably won't find dick like this anywhere else, which to me is fucking absurd.
Yes, it really is though.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Ain't no dick better than loyal dick.
The power.
The fuck we talking about?
The power people put on sex is crazy. The power people put on sex is crazy, and that really controls a lot of people's relationships.
It does.
That's what I'm saying. Territorial with their genitals,
yeah.
like
not mine.
Exactly.
I tell people all the time, take sex out of a relationship, and
what do you have? Exactly.
Right.
If y'all stop fucking for a couple months, and now all of a sudden y'all miserable.
And I think a lot of women, and the thing is too, a lot of women are insecure, right? So you'll have that woman that's like, yo, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to find better if I move on.
Exactly. That was my other point.
Better. So she's going to bitch and she's going to fight you because she's fighting to keep what she thinks she has. Like, and keyword think she has, because she clearly don't have you if you still step it out.
But here's the thing though. We gotta stop thinking like that, like where I have you and you have me.
Yeah.
Us being in a relationship is a choice that we both decided to be here. So you can walk away at any point in time. Like, that's just what it is. It's the investment you put into the relationship that I feel like should.
I was going to touch on as well.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of women feel like they've invested so much. That's usually the biggest thing. They feel like they invested so much time, energy.
They feel like
as a woman,
time
is your biggest possession.
We feel like,
as a woman.
And I'll speak from example. We feel like we kind of molded you, and we took a lot of your shit
for another woman. That's how most of the women feel.
Sometimes, yes, we do.
Feel.
Yeah, we feel like, oh, I'm not gonna build you up for the next
But why do you have
bitch.
to
Right.
build me up? You don't have to build me up. I have to build myself up at the end.
Yeah, but that's what
That's
I'm saying.
true.
Like a lot of times we see
But
the
we have a
potential.
nurturing nature.
Yeah, we have a nurturing nature. So we see that potential. We're like, oh, we gotta groom that potential into whomever. And then once it's
Into what
groomed,
you
and then you
want,
dip
though,
off,
not what
it's
the
like.
I don't
person
think it's even just that. I think just naturally, a lot of women, like when we care about you, we care about how you look, we care about how you smell, we care about, you know, that you're happy, and with happiness comes, okay, do you have a, did you eat today? How was work? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a job? Y'all, it was one time where I full blown did somebody's essay. I did a 10-page paper for somebody. Y'all, I'm telling you.
I don't like homework.
Huh?
This 10 pages of some penis?
I ain't did 10 pages for some penis. No, I'm not. I did 10 pages because I wanted the nigga to get into college.
Because smart dick is better than dumb dick.
He's been smart. He's actually been smart. Nigga just didn't want to do the fucking paper.
Hold on, can I make a comment?
Yeah.
And this is totally off script. Y'all nails is popping.
Oh, thank you. Birthday nails or whatever. AKA, I didn't know my birthday's on the 12th, so early. Happy birthday to me or whatever. I'm about to go to Dubai. I'm flying out right soon as I leave out here, you know.
She ain't a packet.
Dirty.
She ain't a packet. She ain't got packet.
Oh, Slim.
Look at you.
I was saying I got about that.
So I'm gonna ask one more question. One of the questions were, why don't women compliment men more?
Somebody asked that shit on my page, and I was like, that's crazy. I can't. You a liar, cause we talk about you every time we fucking see you. So I can't necessarily speak on that, because I feel like I generally like to make people feel good, and I know how much a compliment can mean to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just as much as words hurt, words heal. So just, you know, giving somebody a compliment one time or whatever the case may be, you don't know how that could change. And I give compliments and dip. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give drive-by compliments. Exactly. Just to show you I don't want nothing from you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women, I think, they may not compliment a lot of guys because it might not, you know, stop at the compliment. They might think like, oh, she want the dick, give it to me.
Nah, I can't front. I do have a lot of homies that just assume that any bitch that speak to them directly.
Right.
Directly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
this bitch
okay,
is
well then I
good
gotta
morning.
ask too though.
Let me pull my dick
Exactly.
with your rapey ass.
Right. Well, let me ask this
Good morning.
too
I'm like, nigga, it's
though.
9 o'clock. It's the morning. Good morning.
Let me ask this too though. What's considered a compliment? Because I feel like I compliment men in different ways than what would be considered a
So how you
compliment to
compliment men?
us. Like I'll more so probably show an interest, and to me that's me complimenting you. Because quite frankly, I wouldn't.
I think that's the problem. Indirect compliments.
Yes,
When
I'm
girls
more
be
indirect.
like,
I agree to that.
oh, so you gonna go outside in them sweats?
Yes, yes.
Oh, so
yes.
you just gonna stay
I
at the
feel like
gym
it's
all
a
the time?
miscommunication.
Oh,
Because I feel like you do indirect compliments.
That's a hood way. That's a hood way.
Oh, you gonna shower today?
Because it's like if you want to direct compliment, y'all sometimes
Now
y'all
you
head
gonna shower
do today, and then now you thinking you too cute for the next bitch. I don't think you get cute for the next bitch.
First of all, let me
That's not right, but it's true.
Hold on.
That's not right, but it's true.
I'm Don Rico, not calling speak for Don Rico. I need y'all to understand something. Women on planet Earth, I need y'all to understand something. Listen, you don't gotta gas me. I'm Don motherfucking Rico the Don. I know.
No.
First of all, listen. Understand it takes me an hour and a half to get ready to leave the
He's a
house.
Leo, guys. He's a
You
Leo.
feel me? I go into the shower, niggas be tight because the bathroom is not gonna be available no time soon. You feel me? I use face wash and toner and face mask and moisturizers.
You better go ahead with your pretty self.
I take care of myself, goddammit. I shave my motherfucking stubble, alright? I didn't today because I was in a rush, but best believe in the morning, the motherfucker gonna shave the stubble down. You know what I'm saying? I take care of myself, you feel me? I use my motherfucking double buttercream to moisturize these motherfucking tresses. You feel
And he
me?
pulled that shit out, boys. He definitely pulled that shit out.
Listen, I carry it in my bag because this hair gotta stay moisturized. These waves ain't no motherfucking joke. Nigga, if I move to Africa, I'm taking flights to Bed-Stuy. I only trust one barber on this planet to cut my hair. Listen, I take care of myself. You feel me? I got 7 bottles of cologne on my motherfucking nightstand. I know I smell good. I know, but please tell me. You feel me?
Direct compliment.
So all of that to say, we gotta tell you.
Make sure this effort don't go unrecognized.
Hello.
With that being said,
Talk to them. Men want effort. Men want
If I
effort.
give you a hug, I'm like, you
Y'all
smell
do that.
good.
Y'all-
Hold on, if I give you a hug, I say, you smell good, bitch, return a compliment because I smell good too. I got on my Burberry rhythm today. Shit smell good.
You got the Jimmy Choo man.
I got on my Calvin Klein Euphoria today. Shit smell good.
You got the Javon. You feel me?
Yo.
I got my colors of Benetton on today. I smell good.
You got the Paco Rabanne on. You feel me? You got the Paco Rabanne.
You feel me? I got on my Gucci black today. I smell good.
If you're singing, you got Polo Blue.
I smell good. I smell the fuck good. Tell me I'm handsome. Tell me you like the dimples. Tell me you eat Cheerios out my shit, man. I like that. Alright? I like that. Just like you look good, I look the fuck good too.
You better claim it.
You feel me? I trim my nails every couple days.
His nails are good. His nails are real
My
good.
cuticles is popping.
So if a girl come to you and be like, yo, you pretty.
I appreciate that. You pretty too, and I'm gonna keep my day pushing. That's it. We ain't gotta keep talking. You recognize my beauty, I recognize yours. We 2 humans on this earth. Keep it pushing. That's it. We ain't gotta talk. I ain't gotta know your name. You ain't gotta know mine. Just recognize. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Recognize his beauty. I take my time.
So, all right. So, what
and in the
type of
afternoon and in the nighttime, I take my time.
what's the best
I don't see my legs
compliment?
in the wintertime. I got on pants, but these legs are still moisturized. I'm not ashy out here in these streets. I know bitches that don't put lotion on in the wintertime. That shit crazy. I take the fucking leggings off and got flakes flying all over the bitch moist. I don't care if it's not hitting the air.
He's going. He is blacking.
Black.
I didn't even know he was on black.
Yo, this is Rico Blackout session. I forgot. Let's get this time to be Rico Blackout.
You gotta put lotion on your ass, man. Come on, man.
You gotta tell them don't use the Jergens.
Yo.
Come on, man. Use your Lubriderm. Lubriderm. Make sure that shit's intense moisture in the wintertime.
Oh my God.
This
And if
area.
you really body, you gotta get the shit with the African black soap.
This when the air is dry. Okay? This when the air is dry. I'm sorry. Where's your Blistex? Where your Burt's Bees at? Come on, man. Moisturize your lips. Take care of yourself. You gotta take care of me. So I need you to take care of you. You can't expect me to take care of the both of us now. Come on.
Oh my God.
Like I'm more invested in this relationship. I need you to be invested in you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put value in you, I can put value in you.
Damn, your bitch gotta be pretty.
You know what I'm saying? Show me that you're worth it. Show me that you're worth it. Because I'm telling you, I'm bringing the package. I look the fuck good. I take my durag off today because I just moisturized my hair.
Yo, not for nothing. I really do wish more men took more pride in themselves like that because on a real level, like I feel like a lot of dudes don't, and so they be insecure as fuck. They go through their own insecurities.
Listen,
That's
this is my overnight bag. I got everything I need to take care of myself.
You gotta show them.
Hold on.
I saw the ass in his bag though.
Hold on.
I gotta record
My shorty
that.
asked me the other day, you want to spend the night today? No, I can't. I don't got my brushes. I don't got my moisturizer. I don't got a do-rag. No, I can't spend the night tonight. I'm gonna look crazy tomorrow. No.
Like he got the ass in eye up. He got the ass. And it's perfectly packaged too, by the way.
Come on.
It's perfectly packaged.
What are we
Everything got its own section.
Hello, what are we doing?
It's you got the Cetaphil.
I got the toner. I'm not, listen, understand, what Don Rico, I'm not talking bullshit, but I speak facts.
Wait, what you got a comb for? Because you don't have no hair.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. No.
Oh, why too
Best
cold like
believe this is an anti-French comb.
Oh my God.
A brush can't do it all.
No.
You playing yourself. One brush.
Yo.
Two brush.
First of all, we gotta tell you about the brushes.
What are the
These
brushes?
One of them
What
is
are the
soft, one of them is soft brittle
brushes?
brushes. The other one is the hard brittle
Touch
brushes.
it. Touch it. It's all right. You touch it.
One of them is hard brittle, the other one is soft
It's
brittle.
different.
And then you got the double sided with the medium and the soft.
But understand, these
oh,
brushes
the
is
double-sided
$27 a pop.
That's real boar
This
skin.
is not. I'm
skin
not
right
joking. These brushes are you can't buy these in the beauty supply store. You gotta order these.
there.
These
That's
is
boar skin right
$27
there.
brushes a pop.
Boar skin.
This is $54 right here.
Yo.
I'm not playing, son. I take care of myself, so my
That's
body will do
beautiful,
the same. All right? It's not a joke.
So you invest in your women, though.
Listen, I invest in me, and if you be with me, you gotta invest in you too.
Boy.
Home bill, queen.
Listen, two investors is more than one.
Oh, heard
Stop
that.
playing, man. This ain't no motherfucking game.
I'm crying.
I don't talk shit. I talk facts.
Guys, we have come to the end of our show.
Goddamn.
Thank you for being on the Rico Blackout section.
Sorry.
I missed
Once in a while I do
this.
this.
Nah, we be needing that though. Guys, though, make sure you guys all follow us on Instagram at lethal_lips with a Z _podcast. You know what I'm saying? Look out for us. We're definitely gonna do a live show soon. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do a live show soon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got any venues on the low.
Do that.
Yeah, we gotta come
Because the max cancels.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Guys, make sure you guys are emailing us, letting us know if you're an artist, a creator, whatever it is. Email us, lethallipspodcast@gmail.com. Email us, and don't just be like, y'all want to be on the show. Email, like, please send us the rundown of what you do. Send us your links,
A bio,
send us your bios,
EPKs.
all of that. If you got what's it called again?
EPKs, Media Kit.
Yeah, Media Kit. If you guys have all of that stuff, please email everything. Because we are taking on new talents, you know what I'm saying, coming forward. We have a
And if you have a
couple
preferred date, please include the preferred
include
date
that as well.
so that we can help you help us help you.
Right,
okay?
but don't ask us which day because y'all know we on air only on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, 8:30 to 10.
So yes, make sure you guys follow us and you guys listen to other episode on iTunes, Apple Music, Google Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
And
Right?
Spreaker.
Yes, and Spreaker. Make sure you follow me, Urban_Classic with a Q. Don't question it. You feel me?
And I am Silva, the one and only King Sylvie. That's KINGSLVY because I'm that bitch.
I heard. Shout out to Follow Culture in the building. Shout out to my Koon in the building. Shout out to DJ Blackout. Wait, Rico.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
Rico.
Later.
As now.
Yeah, this is Ash Boy, sister.